Hi everyone, it's Sue and welcome to my channel and welcome to the Scrapbooking and Craft YouTube Hop, and hopefully you'll be able to see my project and some of the other projects that will be shown as well. My featured product, which is from Scrapbooking and Craft, is this new stencil design, and it's a round stencil. So I've never actually used a round stencil, so I'm quite curious to see how it actually goes. But looking at it, I don't think I'll have a problem with it at all. And I do also have one of these little art foamies too that I got from Scrapbooking and Craft quite a while ago. And these are really good for stamping and things as well. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a scrapbook page. This will be my focal image, so it's a clock. And it's interesting, I actually had to cut off, well, I didn't have to, but I thought I would. This little dude here, he was actually sitting at the top there. But apart from the fact he wouldn't actually fit on my page, I did think he was kind of a little creepy. So I thought, yeah, I'm taking him off. So I might use him on a Halloween thing or something down the track. Alright, so what I've got is, I've got some little cut pieces of book page. I've got my jelly plate. Now I don't know what size this one is, probably 6 inch by maybe 5 inch, but I thought I would use that to help with the background. I've got a little roller and I've got some Dina Wakley paints. Now I've chosen the colours specifically to go with the image to give me sort of a vintagey feel. So I've got Sedona, Cheddar, Apricot and Umber. So I'm hoping that they will give me a nice background for the image. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to stick these down on the page to start with, and I'm just going to use my glue stick, and that hopefully will give me some texture underneath the paint. And then I'm going to build up the layers with a few other bits and pieces as well. So I'll just really no real planning to this, it's just a matter of getting them on the page. Try and get them a little bit varied in how you're putting them so they're not all the same, but other than that, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm hoping this sticks actually, because this is my Dina Wakley art journal, and this page I think it's the watercolor paper, but I'm using it for this. Now I need a bigger one in there, maybe something like that. Yep, I might just get rid of this white bit here, although the other side's probably better, so I might use the other side. Yep, that looks good to me. You could of course use gel medium for this. I'm using the glue stick because it does dry a bit quicker. And because I'm doing several layers, I really wanted to get it done. Let's have a look. Might have to put that one there. I'll just take that off. Hope everybody's really well at the moment. It's been a funny time. You know, I guess we all thought that 2020, once 2020 was over, things would resort back to normal, but they haven't really. Not here anyway, not in Australia. Well, not in Victoria anyway. I'm not sure how the other states are faring at the moment. Hopefully a bit better than we are. Okay, whoops, that was a bit crooked, never mind. Doesn't have to fill every single bit of the space, but it's nice to fill quite a bit of the space. Now I'm just putting that little one there. Alright, now, okay, just need a piece to fit in here. So, I'll just roughly cut one. Okay. Alrighty, now I did think I had another one of those little strips which are good for breaking up bigger bits. Alright, I think I might leave it at that. It is going to be covered anyway, so it's not too major. Alright, now just trim this a little bit here, and we might actually stick that down somewhere just because we can. Let's have a look, maybe here. Okay. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the roller, this thing, with the paints and just cover the paper. Now I'm just starting with this one, which is the cheddar, and it's, I don't know, it still feels like there's a lot in there, but it's awfully difficult to come out. I'm thinking because it's quite warm, maybe they're starting to dry out a little. And I'm just looking to see if I have a little sprayer here that I can spray to keep it wet. Doesn't look like I do. Oh, there we are. It's in the wrong spot. Just add a little bit. That's better. Alright, so I'm just going to, and all I'm doing is just rolling this on just to give it a background. And of course you don't need a gel plate to do this. You could do it with any sort of something to roll on. It doesn't really matter. Just put a paper there so it protects the pages below. Now in my head I'm thinking that I will be starting with the cheddar, then the Sedona, and then the umber, and hopefully that'll be enough to cover it. Okay, now I think I need a bit more. I'm just going to try this, see what happens here. Might as well use up all the paint I can. Okay. Alrighty, I might just build up a few layers and just keep building up the layers now. That's just a little unstuck, so I'm hoping this glue does work. This is the first time I've used this one. It's a Mont Marte, and I did already have, I have been using this one. This one's really good, but I can't get this one. I think they may have replaced it with this one. So I'm hoping that this one is as good. It doesn't smell the same as the other one did. The other one had quite a strong smell. So I'm hoping they haven't changed the formula too much, because it really was actually really good. Maybe a little sticky, but it was actually really good. Okay, let's... I like making my backgrounds like this actually. I find this is a nice way of doing it. But what I have just noticed is that it's not quite filling some of these spaces here. So what I might do is just grab a little brush and just dab some in there so that at least there's some in there to fill that space. So the white's not too obvious. Not a bad idea. Alright, stop messing with that. Let's go. And the idea is not to totally cover the other colour, but to, it's hard to get near that edge, but to, I guess, cover parts of it. We will probably do another layer, I'm thinking. Okay, now let's just put that out of the way. Okay, alright, now I'm going to use the umber. Now I must remember to put the lids on and turn them upside down. I've actually got a little container that I'm popping them into and tipping them upside down so that they, the paint comes out. Whoops, that's a little bit much. They seem to be having trouble coming out at the moment. Okay, a little bit of water and just roll. Now because this is a lot darker, I don't quite want as much, so just change directions as well. See if you can fill in those spaces. Okay, so let's have a look. So that will be like that. Yeah, quite like that. That's coming along nicely. Just see if I can concentrate on some of those little white areas a bit better. Alright, okay. Now I might just come in with the cheddar again, just lighten it up a little bit now. And any areas that don't appear to have much. Okay, where's that brush again? Just fill in some of those gaps. Don't have to, of course, but I like to. I don't mind a bit of white showing, that's fine, but I'd like to fill in some of the gaps if I can. And it's just a bit hard to get right close to this edge with the roller. Alright, okay. Let's just use up this bit. Okay. Alright, now this is going to have to dry, so I will let it dry and be right back. Alright, I think it's dry enough now. Now the idea is, if you put that over there, I'm not sure where it's going yet, but I need that to stand out a little bit more. So now I'm going to try to lighten the background a little bit with an extra layer. And what I'm thinking is I'll use this stencil, which, as I said before, is a new one from Scrapbooking and Craft. So if you haven't been to the website, it's an Australian website, Australian business, so pop over, have a look. There are some great stencils there and reasonably priced. Great prices, in fact. I actually have quite a few of their stencils. Okay, so now what I'm thinking, where's my sponge? I'm going to sponge the lighter shade of apricot. Now I'm hoping this works because to me it should lighten as well as add a little bit of texture. So quite a bit of paint, but really make sure you dab it off a little bit. Now I might just start with the corner. See how we go there. Yeah, I like that. Oh yes, that looks really good. Now let's see, right, go to this one. I really should have a think about where my image is going actually. I don't want it too dark because I do want it to still, the background to still be there. Okay, yes, I'm liking this. And here, let me see, if I, I like it that side actually. And I might put some text there. Although, no, I think it should go that way. Alright, so we'll put some more here. Wow, this is really nice. I like this one. Got paint all over my fingers. Oops, I moved that. Never mind. Looks good though. Yeah, I like that. Maybe just a tiny bit here. Let's see if I can hold that. Yep. Just a tiny bit there and a tiny bit here. Whoops. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I've got to stop. Maybe just a little bit here. Just a couple of dabs just to... Yep. Yeah, I like that. Okay. When you're using the stencils, don't forget to have maybe a little bucket of water or something so you can drop them straight in. That way you don't have to scrub them. Unfortunately, I did forget that, but never mind. I will give it a good clean. Okay, I'm happy with that. Give that a minute to dry, and then I'm going to do, I'm thinking a little bit of black. Okay, I'm going to edge that in black, I think. So with my Sharpie, I'm just going to go around the edge in black. Oops, oh dear. Good tip, don't try and rush this, take your time because you will mess it up. I did fussy cut these out fairly close, but there is still a little bit of a white edge. Of course we can use things to make it stand out a bit more on your page as well. This particular Sharpie might be losing its... Yeah. We've got another one? I'm sure I must have a second one. That one seems to be losing its oomph. Here we go. The big one. Oh yeah, that's much better. Also easier to make mistakes with. Especially as I'm not holding it so close to my face. Let's just get these dangly bits out of the way. Okay, now this is going to be challenging. I know some people do this on paper and sort of trace around it, but I find this way better. Even though it's a little fiddly. Oops. Okay, that bit there is not so good. It's close to falling off. Oh. Okay. Yep, okay. Alright, now what I am thinking, still a little bit dark, and it's not standing out quite as much, so I might actually use a bit of gesso, which I have here, or you could use white paint, but I don't have any here. And I might actually just wondering whether I should roll it over or let's have a look. Maybe I should pop it over that side because it's on the lighter. Maybe I should do, oh, I know. Let's use the stencil and a bit of gesso so that we're lightening it a bit more. just in this area. Not too much, just right. Oh no, just dropped it on my black pants. Great. Alright. Yeah, I think that's a bit better actually. Okay, get rid of the gesso. And we have a lot on the mat, but never mind. Alright, I did want to do some black, so I think we'll give this a try. I'm not sure how this will go, but let's do some stamping. Where's a bit of paper that I can check it on first? Let's just have a look. Okay. Where's the distress ink? Let's see. I think my StazOn's losing its oomph. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Okay. We'll use the distress ink. Just gives it an extra dimension, I think. Okay. Alrighty. Now, okay. Alright, quite happy with that. So, I'm thinking I might stick it down. Although I'm thinking it still needs something to bring it out. Alright, let's have a think. I'll be back. Alright, I've had a bit of a play. I've got some gauze that I sort of thought, okay, maybe I could pop that there, which I didn't mind, but I didn't think it's made it stand out quite enough. So then I thought, what about some book page? And I'm thinking that will probably make it stand out more, and I could also add this as a bit of a texture as well, which I quite like. But this is not, I don't like the white edges, so I'm thinking I'll use this tear ruler that I have that I hardly ever use, and I might roughen up the edges a bit. Okay, how wide does it need to be? Probably there. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to need to do the bottom, which might prove to be a little challenging. Might do it this way. Okay. And this one. Okay, alright. So if I pop that there, with that there, maybe this there. Yep, I quite like that actually. I think that brings it out a lot better. And I will use the black distress ink to go around the edges. And this is what I find when you're doing any sort of project like this, a mixed media-y sort of a project. You have an idea in your head, but as you go, you tend to add things or change things. Because I guess it's, unless you've done it before, it's always hard to know how things are going to actually work out. So it's nice to sort of be able to go, okay, I'm not sure about that, I need to change it, and change it. I think that's, you know, one of the things that you need to be able to do. So I'm thinking that there, and then glue that there somehow. Yep, okay. I'm thinking I might try the art glitter glue for this part, the paper part. And the other bit, I think I'm going to have to use a craft glue. Alright, plenty. Okay. Now craft glue, yes, I have some open, good. Alright, so I'm thinking, just sort of spread that. Maybe if I put the craft glue on here, and what will happen is it will go through obviously onto the paper, but it won't glue all the edges down. So I think it's nice not to have everything glued down. Where's my could do this. I don't know if this, whoops, don't know if this will actually hold it for long, but I might just do that just to keep it in place. And I kind of like the way it sort of puffs out a little bit too. Don't want to make it too flat. Alright, and we'll pop some craft glue on the back of this. And then it's time for a sentiment, I think. Which I was thinking one of the Tim Holtz, I think they're called small chats or something like that. There's bound to be one that will be suitable, I hope. If not, I'll have to come up with something. Okay. Let's have a look without getting glue absolutely everywhere. Did that the other day. Black pants, craft glue, had some on my hand and just instinctively wiped it on my pants. Totally ruined the pants. Looks like, you know, there's something horrible wiped up the sides of them. Thought, oh, really? Just thought, really? Okay, I've wrecked quite a few clothes actually, playing around in the art room, the craft room. But never mind, it's the price you have to pay. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit and dry a bit, and I will be back in a moment, hopefully with a sentiment. Okay, I've had a look, and I've come up with a couple that I think are okay, but they're so small that they're kind of going to be buried, so I'm going to put them on some black. Now I've got to find one. I'm thinking there's one that's a record of the past, because I don't know, it's an old-fashioned clock. There was another one, one day is worth two tomorrows, and that's sort of to do with time. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a couple, maybe three. I think there were three that I liked. What was the other one? Remembrance of things to come. I'm not sure if I will use that one or not. I think I might just stick with the two. I think that was the only... Oh, there is no others that are specific to time that I haven't used. I think I've used the time ones because it's seems to be a topic or that I use a bit. Alright, okay. Can't see any others. Alright. Oh, hang on. What was that one? Oh, could have swore I saw the word time then. No, okay. Must be imagining things. Alright, so let's have a look what they look like. I should have put them on a lighter one. Yeah, this one needs readjusting to be in the middle. Okay. Okay, alright, I'm thinking I will go with those. And it's a pity these aren't a bit bigger. I think they need to be bigger. That's just my opinion. I'm thinking they need edging, and I'm thinking the Inca Gold might be nice. Let's see how we go with that without making too much of a mess. I found the easiest way to do it is with this little sponge, which is actually the sponges that go on the square distress tools, but for some reason I ended up with square ones even though I don't have a square tool. So anyway, now I use them for that. Alright, a bit hard to see that one because they're so tiny. Maybe I need to be a bit more definite with it. I think I've just got it all over the words too. It's because I've got it on my fingers now. It's very messy. It's great stuff, but gee, it's messy. Alright, okay. Yep, except for the top on that one needs a bit more. Oh yuck, just got it all on my finger. well, on my fingernail actually. Ugh. Okay. Alright, before I touch them again, I'm going to wipe my fingers. I don't really want gold everywhere. Well, who wouldn't like gold everywhere, but not quite this kind of gold. Alright, let's have a look. Glue. Well, hopefully this video isn't way too long. Gee, I've got black all over me as well. Gosh, what a mess. Oh well. It's a bit like cooking. I make a mess when I cook too. Somebody said to me one day, well, that's a sign of a good cook. I laughed because, yeah, I wouldn't put myself in that category. I can cook all right, but I wouldn't say I'm a great cook. I'm a cheat cook, I think. I like to do things in the quickest possible way. As much as I like food, I don't like the cooking aspect of it. Alright, I'm just going to give that a minute and pull them off. And that looks better without that. I'm thinking I might distress the edges and then I'll consider it done. Alright, have to come off. There's a little bit sticking up there. Now I need to try and just do this side. Oops, everything shakes. Okay, alright, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's have a closer look, shall we? Just get the glue lid. Alright. Okay, so and there we go. So that is my page done using the stencil from Scrapbookingncraft and the little art foamy as well. So really happy with that. I love this stencil. In actual fact, I have another idea for it, which I will do in a little bit down the track. But there we go. So thank you very much for joining me, and please make sure you go and check out the website for Scrapbookingncraft. Have a look at the stencils. There are lots there, and when I had a look very recently, a couple of days ago, there's some new ones that I hadn't seen before. Some people ones and script ones, which were really good. So have a look at those, and as I said, prices are really good, and because they're flat, postage isn't too bad either. So even if you're overseas, you may find that it is actually worthwhile because the prices are good and the postage won't be too bad. It probably wouldn't work out too bad at all. Alright, thank you very much for joining me, and please make sure you look out for the other videos for the hop, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.